Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Techado again. We did some changes in the channel. I know a lot of you guys wrote in comments that I need to speak up, but to be very honest, after streams and everything, my voice is literally cracked, and my streams go on for like 3-4 hours. So if you have not watched the Twitch channel, just go to twitch.tv /tech_a_do. I'll be posting down a link in comment section below where you can participate with us live on stream. First things first is that the huge amount of political pressure right now and the ongoing conflict that's happening between Ukraine and Russia with their forces literally cramped up on the borders and everything, that conflict has got a huge impact on economy. It is not good at all for that conflict to go on to a full-blown standout war or anything, just because over the years, the markets and everything has shown certain amount of like a dip whenever conflict starts. So right now on this part of the video, you're seeing a chart how severely our economy got impacted whenever any conflict starts. It starts from the Pearl Harbor date to the recent conflicts. But the biggest conflict before this that started like few weeks back was Iraq's invasion of Kuwait, and at that time you will see that the economy took around about 71 days minimum to 183 days to recover. So it took like round about 3 months to half a year to recover. So that correlates to your stocks, and that will eventually correlate to your crypto and everything. So a lot of people, those who are asking questions in the channel, that what do you think about Pegaxy and will the PGX and the VIS rise or not? It totally depends upon where this conflict ends up to. Now it is also, there's one more thing that you need to consider also. Why is this not beneficial for both parties? Like why is it not beneficial for Russia? Why is it not beneficial for Europe to have this conflict? And that is the reason they are going through a lot of diplomatic solutions. The reason behind is that Russia is one of the biggest exporters of oil in Europe, and apart from being an exporter of oil, it also exports one of the most expensive material, sitting at number one where United States is number two. That's going to be palladium. So what is palladium and how does it relate to Pegaxy and everything? Hear me out. Now, don't go away. Hear me out. First of all, to do this conversation, show you the chart and do a market analysis, you have to have your attention. You should be attentive enough to understand this. So grab a coffee or tea. I think it's tea time for me, so I'm grabbing a tea. Have a cup of tea and then you will understand this. Palladium. To begin with, palladium is one of the most expensive metal in planet Earth. It's 50% more expensive than your gold. So what is palladium used for? Palladium is also used in literally every car that runs on gas to convert very toxic gases to less toxic gases. So huge quantities of nitrogen, carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide and stuff like that. So literally palladium is used in catalytic converters. All right, so all catalytic converters have palladium. Now I don't know which part of the world you're watching from. For the last 1 or 2 weeks, catalytic converters are getting stolen in a lot of Los Angeles, in literally everywhere in Los Angeles, and people are like they're freaked out, like, why is my catalytic converter getting stolen? Why is this even important? Well, it contains palladium, and due to this economy shift and everything, palladium holds a very key point, because literally in United States there is huge amount of cars, and cars get used like literally a household probably will have 3-4 cars out here. So catalytic converters are super important to resuscitate palladium from them. So if you know about scrap metallurgy businesses or anything, palladium sits at the top, and catalytic converters are one of the highest paid materials. This one, I do not know whether this info should be said out, but it is what it is. I mean, this is an info. My job is not to make sure like something is gone. But that palladium, that oil and everything, if a full-blown war starts out, this world will end up into a huge crisis, and dragging all this whole humanity towards a crisis will allow the stocks to fall by a lot. Now remember this: every crypto that you have invested, you have your own money invested. I'm not talking about people, those who are doing shady stuff. I'm talking about common people like you and me. So we have invested our money, which is physical cash, physical money, into digital money. And we're trying to make some extra money out of it and then convert back into regular money. So importance of stocks is of highest, to be honest. So stock and digital currency, or non-decentralized, they go very neck to neck. Very neck to neck. Quick question, by the way. Those guys who commented yesterday on the last video, I'm very interested to know what sort of situation you guys have in your country if you're watching anywhere from US, outside US. What is the legality in which country, NFTs or cryptocurrency is actually considered as a currency, and you can actually cash out your stuff. Because for me, I only know 2 or 3 countries that actually allow. I think that a lot of countries, they are so baffled and they do not know how to, legally give somebody that money, that they literally try to make it illegal. So. Do let me know down in comments below because of that. Now, let's quickly jump in. Watch some important factors again that I shared on the stream, and we are going to talk about all of those stuff, which is again stocks, Pegaxy, and VIS. All of these stuff with the Ukraine-Russia crisis is very, very, very correlated. So in that way, you will more or less get a picture of what's going on. Let's go and watch this pretty carefully. On an average, whenever a conflict happens, you're going to watch that it takes around about 22 days to 47 days for it to recover, right? Now, one of the biggest impacts was in 1940s, where we were going through like World War II, and at that time, it took around about a year to the whole stock market to recover. A whole year, 41 to 42's end, and probably 43. But we are not looking into that. We are not even looking into other conflicts or anything. After that, the major conflict was Iraq's invasion of Kuwait. It took 71 to 189 days. So around about 2 months to 6 months. To 6 months for things to recover and come back to normal. Now, that's a huge deal because, I'm not talking like smaller countries like Iraq and Kuwait and all that stuff. I'm not talking about smaller Middle Eastern countries. I'm talking about superpowers. When superpowers get involved, it will usually take a lot of time to recover. And that's where we have to watch into one thing, and you will see that Dow, Nasdaq, S&P, more or less is doing good right now, and oil prices are sitting at the same, so they are still down by 0.0 because the market is still open right now. But yesterday's market, it was negative 0.5%. So the reason behind this shift and all that stuff is just because. But then there's another news saying that US and NATO. So this continuous back and forth of what's going to happen is creating some sort of panic. And because of that panic, people want the physical money, because whenever things happen like this, whenever conflicts happen like this, people do not want to keep their digital assets alive. They want to convert into physical money. And that's what matters. That's what you need to understand, that, like when is PGX going to go high? When is VIS going to high? These answers lie if you wake up in the morning, read the newspaper, and you have got a certain amount. Like back in the days, our dads always used to read newspapers, right? You get a newspaper in the morning, is going through world news and all that stuff. And in that news, you're going to understand that this is important. So with that in thought, you cannot say that when this PGX is going to go high or low. There's one more thing that you need to check, was their Twitter. So if you go to Twitter with Corey Wilton, it was 7 a.m. in the morning, and I was expecting that something will change after 7 a.m. But markets moved a little bit stronger. The markets moved a little bit stronger. It actually, from like 7 a.m. in the morning, you will see that the markets are coming back because of that video and stuff like that. So that's actually a good news that, you know, people are now feeling trustworthy about their investment. So things are going bad, but I'm just watching from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. On a 7-day average, things like this has happened. So if you like put the you know, the marker right out here, you know, it's remaining onto an average of 0.56 or 0.55. So where is it going to end up to? Is it going to go back up to 0.8? We do not have any answer yet, because there is a lot of other factors that we need to think about. So is this video inconclusive? The video is not inconclusive. There are 3 factors to decide what is the future of Pegaxy Viz. First and the foremost factor is that the conflict should be resolved. They should not stretch this. If they are stretching this and, you know, it's going to go to a full-blown war, there is a huge and an immense amount of market change that's going to come up, which is not at all good. But this also opens you a window of opportunity. So you can play this in 2 ways. Either get another horse, which I have bought. I bought a 29% horse yesterday for under like 969 USDT. So a 29-30% horse is going to be good. And I saw that this is either an opportunity where, you know, like, I am not going to lose my digital assets, so I'm not gambling, number one. Number two is that, yes, I might not rent it out for a higher price, but I'm still going to make Viz and everything. So that is one factor. That's one way of thinking. Second way of thinking is that PGX and VIX, all the cryptocurrency, is somewhere or the other correlated to your buying power, and your buying power does depend upon the global market economy, which is going to be regular stocks and regular trades and everything. So all of these 2 things are correlated. So if you are wondering what's going to happen with PGX and VIX, the answer lies in this video. The answer is PGX and VIX is going to be there at a stable. Its minimum is 0.25, maximum is 0.8. That's your PGX. So it's going to be somewhere in the middle, 0.5, 0.6. How much is going to be VIX? Its minimum, again, as I showed in the chart, its minimum is 0.04 and its maximum is 0.25. So it's going to be somewhere in the middle. Now you do the average, which is the median. And after you do the median, you will find out that they are going to stick around in those 2 prices. In the future, or in the next video, we are going to talk about renting prices and what all mistakes that you should not do when you are renting out your horse. I'm not talking about when somebody is renting it out. When you are renting your horses, is it good to rent as of right now, or is it going to be better to race your horses if you have multiple horses? So thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you to understand and understand the depth of the situation that we are right now, and how does it matter for you to keep an eye on what's going on global market conflicts, or what's going on global conflicts, and how it is impacting the market. If you can understand that, in a nutshell, you're going to have a more or less estimate in your mind that what's going to happen with PGX and VIX. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining in the channel. Do leave a comment down below. Do share your opinion. And remember this, I am not your financial advisor. This is how I analyze projects, and I go forward with it. So please do not ask me question that what should you do. Like you can obviously ask the question in the community, and those who are commenting, they can, you know, share. But is that a definitive information about your finances? I would not recommend you that. But think the answer always lies with you, and don't be edgy, because if you have watched this video till the end, you're an attentive person, and an attentive person never loses his mind. So let's go move on to our next video. Till then, goodbye.